Do they see in between while we are waiting to answer? See our face? If I make a face or something?
Do you want them to?
No.
What face would you make?
No, whatever. I mean, I don't know.
Okay.
Hidden face.
You look right there.
I'm looking, I think.
Okay. All right.
Am I not looking?
Welcome to the first ever Q&A with my parents.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, let's start off. I got you guys some gifts. Sometimes these Q&As are a little bit better to have a few drinks during.
Oh.
I know I'm going to. There's some Baileys for you, Mother.
Why? Is it a gift?
Yeah, you can have it.
What do I have to do now?
You can do it now too.
Okay, no, I will do it as a
there's
gift.
a Yakima cider.
Whoa. I like to save for later.
All right.
No.
You can do it now and later, Okay. You guys ready for this?
Ready or not?
Am I ready for this? A bunch of people are asking questions about how you met.
Oh.
We have Life with Lolo asks, where did you guys meet and your love story? And how many years have you been married? Which is a fitting question because it's Valentine's Day. Ever Loving Mama is asking the question, did being in an interracial relationship ever cause issues with family or strangers?
You can answer that one, my dear.
I want the first one. Am I supposed to answer one or?
However you want.
Oh, okay. Well, I will start. We met in Korea, in the countryside where there's no even electricity or running toilet. However, we lived with, I was living with a missionary family, so they had running water with the toilet that they improvised and no electricity. How did we have an oven though? But anyway, I was hired.
Gas. Gas.
Oh, gas, okay. I was hired originally as an interpreter for the nurse in town about how many miles away from? 4 miles from where I stayed in the mountainous countryside. Anyway, but then I ended up stay with this missionary, all the missionaries, and I just interpreted for whatever they needed. Well, at that time they needed language teacher for about 5 young missionaries who just arrived at Korea about several weeks before I was hired. So I became language teacher for them. And also I have some background of nursing, so I became a caregiver for several TB patients who happened to be in that farm that missionary worked. And also I interpreted for this 4 or 5 Korean students for Bible study, and I interpreted from English to Korean. And my husband came to Korea about a month prior to I was starting to work in the farm. That's where we met. I became his language teacher, and then that's how we started. It's just so complicated then. There's so many.
We've already told them why people go on mission trips. To meet boys and girls.
And what is do you want to add?
No, you did a good job, my dear.
And what was the other question?
How
many years?
Discrimination.
Interracial. Was there any problems with growing up?
Maybe in a way. We married 43 years.
I think so.
We married in 74. And, In a way, I guess we do, because I don't understand what funnies and comics and those things that he enjoys. And but we really didn't feel that it was a conflict between he and I. Actually, we were so different. So
I think she's asking like with other people.
Oh, other people. I never felt that way. Do you think?
No, I think you got given a hard time at the nursing home when you were first. That wasn't because, that was language issues, I think, probably, a new kid on the block. But they gave you a harder time than you deserved.
Oh, yeah. Before I went to nursing school, I worked as a nurse's aide for 8 months. And, I worked with the other American nurses' aide that they were cliquey, but I never experienced it before or after that, but it was their problem. So once our boss found out, she gave me much easier job in other building, and because I was the physically small person, and it wasn't easy for me to do one person transfer instead of with the 2 persons. However, I did not have to do as much because it was lighter duty that I had. So
All right.
it worked out good.
Susanna Francis asked, what was it like raising kids not in your home country? Was it culturally challenging?
Not really, because I didn't have my upbringing, I guess, was not traditional either. So I never been a traditional person.
Raising kids is raising kids.
I know. So other than respecting elderly person, all life is same.
All right. McCamel asks, who of all the kids has a closest personality to Ben when he was younger? I think they're asking about my kids.
Maybe Dove, little bit, maybe. And maybe some of 7 has some of you are wanted to be so efficient and fast and goal-oriented, bypassing in between.
All right. Plant-based large family says, can I send your mom a stamped envelope and she can send me a few luffa seeds?
Oh, luffa seeds.
Did she save any?
No. You know what? Whether you believe or not, by the time we had, first year we had about 150 luffas, but they all started near end of August because they didn't have girl flowers. So I had a beautiful looking green luffas, but I was not able to harvest or collect the ripened seed. So even second year, I had to order via mail, but again, I could not start early, or I didn't have early
So
crops.
No?
Nope.
Okay, no.
That is funny.
Ashley Loves Pink asks, what each of you think is your best piece of marriage advice for long-term successful marriages like yours?
Respect the other.
Yeah.
Not sweat the small stuff.
Say again, respect and not.
Not sweating the small stuff. Little details.
Yeah, my husband says respect and not sweating with the small stuff, and I agree with him about respect. We had ups and downs throughout 43 years marriage, but one thing I try to remember is that he is a person that God loves him. I need to respect him, even though I couldn't love him maybe as much as God loves him, but I had to really remind myself that God loves him. And I think I agree with him that one of the key and advice we'd like to give.
Colin Bastanaby asks, what's the overall paying for lunch score?
Yep.
I think we're ahead.
I've been really generous lately.
Oh.
Rachel asks, how do you plan to spend your time when they are away doing the AT? Seeing as your lives are quite intertwined, will it be difficult to fill the time?
We will plan and we will fill our time and space. We haven't thought too much, and we try not to. We have to try not to think about that either, because I will miss them so much, especially baby. So we just intentionally not go ahead of our what's happening now.
Not worry about tomorrow today.
Not worry about tomorrow today.
Ismalandy asks, what is it about the Asian buffet you enjoy so much?
You know what? I cannot tell you that I enjoy so much, but they have more vegetables available and they're cranchy.
Kimchi.
I love their, especially green beans that I'm still trying to make like them, and I still haven't achieved yet. And there's a broccoli, and if you go any restaurant, they don't give you much vegetables for lunch, okay? So that's one reason I go.
Kimchi.
And maybe kimchi. They have kimchi. That's and fast, available right away. So, but I haven't found the restaurant that I really would like to go. Not yet here. So I'm just choosing what I know and easy to go.
Simply Unique Family asks, how many other children do you have?
We have 2 others in addition to Ben.
Sarah B. asks, is it ever hard for you to hear Ben speak critically of his upbringing in the vlogs? How has it affected your relationship?
Actually, that's why I haven't watched. No, not really. I don't know whether even you are critical or not. But you know what? Well, one thing is that I have noticed that it's not only Ben, but this generation, they have a tendency to criticize more of their parents for all various things, which our generation, we really haven't criticized of our parents. And I don't know whether it's a fad, but we just, I haven't heard much about his criticism of our parents, and it's okay with me.
You watch the vlogs.
I do.
So how does that,
Well, it stings a little bit when you hear that we didn't do as good as we could have, and we know that. We were too young to have kids when we had kids, or not smart.
I was 30.
Okay, maybe just we weren't smart. I definitely know we weren't very smart.
But you know what? I'm sure there's a good thing to evaluate, assess, and how we could, but it's a little too late. And also, I don't want to dwell on his criticism because he's my less than half age, and he will learn that, he will understand more later. Will be maybe too late, but that's how it goes. That's right.
well, I don't know if I've, it says critical of my upbringing. I think I have issues with a lot of our environment, especially in the church. I feel like I've worked through most of my complaints with parenting. I don't feel like I really have many of those. And we don't really complain about stuff on the vlog. Okay, Brianna asks, what do you think is Ben's most defining virtue, and what part do you think you had in him developing that?
I'm not sure exactly what you are aiming at, but my understanding of that is that I feel that he is a person of conviction. If he thinks it's right or it's worthy pursuing, he does. In my last 2 years, and then change, another conviction, but he's not afraid to try and do it, and that's a good thing. And I don't know whether we influence that or not, but...
Anything else you want to add?
I think one of your qualities that I'm not sure where it came from. Is being very intentional, and you're more purposeful in a lot of most areas of your life. And that I don't know where it came from, but I think it's a strong quality and a good quality.
You know, the reason, I don't know what they need to hear, the reason I'm talking more today is that Dad is losing voice. Usually his voice is weak in the afternoon, that's why.
Mariah Miller, she tried to sneak a bunch of questions in here, I can see. What characteristics do you guys share with Ben? Is it easy to relate and understand him?
I think I understand more than I agree with him.
I think one characteristic that we share, I believe, with Ben is that we both want to live godly lives and model our lives and our choices after what we think Jesus would have us to do, and our impact on our fellow man related to the spreading of Jesus' love.
Mm-hmm.
So the next question she asks is, what is your belief system?
Oh.
Do you find you differ with Ben and Cammie on different beliefs? She says, are you Christians?
Yes. Our basic belief in God and Jesus, I believe same. And our goal also to be example of what my husband says Jesus left for us through the Bible is the same with the little differences, and I don't know, it's not elements, it's not most crucial part of Christianity. We might differ a little bit how we practice, but that is not a fundamental thing.
What's the biggest difference? I think these people want to see like where we disagree.
Oh, where we disagree, they like to know what we disagree.
That's like the most fun, the drama.
Oh, disagree.
Yeah.
You know, we celebrate Sunday, first day of the week, as Protestant practice. But I don't disagree that they celebrate Shabbat. I think that has a good reason also. But I'd rather celebrate Jesus' birthday, Jesus' resurrection, more than their, in a way, traditional-based thing. But I like their interpretation of the rest. So, yeah, that's a little different. We don't.
Nothing major that I'm aware of.
Yeah.
Oh.
Small approaches.
Yeah. The thing is that, you know what, we might not agree many little things, but we try not to make it to be a gap, because they are not important. We would like to support whatever they do as long as it's against Bible.
All right, this is for Ben's dad. What do you think, or how do you feel about living so close to your child and grandchildren? I guess she's saying you already answered this question at one point, so now it's your turn.
I think it's a blessing we are thankful for every day. We enjoy being around the kids, watching them grow. We're very thankful.
Mm-hmm.
We've been grateful for the time we've spent together.
Yeah.
All right, this is the final question from Cindy. She writes, do you hope Cammie and Ben have more children? More
children. You know what? I don't hope, not hope, but if they have children are blessings from God. All the good gift comes from God, and I'm thankful. But if they don't do anymore, though, I am not disappointed either, because only God can give children. So I don't know. I don't hope what is hope, whatever the word is.
I'm worried about some of the safety of the trail. I'm going to have to trust God for not worrying about it too much. But
yeah, that's the second part of the question. Are you worried about us doing the trail?
In a way, yeah, I do.
It's risky.
I mentioned to Eden, perhaps maybe I should mention that I was thinking about the good nutrition requirements, especially for a little baby, a 2-year-old child, that I just, if they were like our age, it might do a good thing, like losing weight and maybe stronger, but they don't need to lose weight. They strong. And I just hope that they will have enough good sense to know what is acceptable and when they should be alarmed and able to turn around and return, when not. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
So be it.
That's all the questions. Anything else you want to say? You could say whatever you want now.
What do I... to whom?
Well, these are people that they see your life a little bit and they watch our show.
Maybe, no. Yeah, well, I haven't shown much lately, so I'm safe. Yeah, you know what, I would do, yes, I can say that something. Some people might wonder if they were the first watcher of vlogging. They might say, what do you think about their living and you guys are here? Not only the AT, but because we gave up, I retired early, not really early, but early, that I really enjoyed my job, and I gave up my job and maybe friends and...
So what she's saying, a lot of people I don't think know the story, but my parents moved here 2 or 3 years ago.
Oh, I thought 3 years ago, full 3 and several months.
And my mom quit her job so they could come out and be close to us, and now we're leaving. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just in case someone might wonder, what do you think about that? Are you disappointed? And I thought they could ask the question if they knew the story before and after. At first, when we heard, I wasn't disappointed. I just only heard and say, oh, okay, well, that has been our attitude. Daddy and I always at least tried support or supportive to whatever decision they make. And even though I don't watch a vlog,
However harebrained the decision is.
even though I don't watch a vlog and someone might interpret that I'm not involved, I'm involved physically and emotionally and spiritually, not by watching vlog myself. Okay, that's my standard. And so I am more involved than ever. And but as I'm thinking again and again about their living in future, and we are here where no other relatives than one of our daughter, everybody's in Washington State, and I'm thinking, why are we here? Why did we came? Well, we came for grandchildren, and because of your plan changes, and you are still growing, maturing. I mean, you guys have a big life ahead of us, longer than perhaps for Daddy and I. So whatever their life, they have to pursue it, and we just have to change the direction. But if we have opportunity again, or if even though we knew this, we might have come anyway because we would be here for grandchildren. So yeah.
Anything else?
So be it.
Yep. I hope that's our final thinking. I hope I don't think too much.
Well, it's tough with a lot of our beliefs and topics talking, because I think we have some pretty strong beliefs and viewpoints of how we were raised and things like that. So it's tough balancing that with still being thankful, or really it's the flip. It's tough balancing being thankful while still being critical and making changes. But I think I've come to believe that with you guys, I believe you guys did the best you could, and I'm really thankful for it. And I think we can still make changes and take a look at culture and the church and even things that you guys did and disagree, but still be thankful for what you guys did. And that's how I feel.
I think you knew that you were loved and supported as a child, as all of our kids.
Yeah.
I think that was obvious.
And I think I went through angry phases where I was like, you guys didn't care or whatever. That's
Who doesn't? And
Yeah.
but I honestly, I never felt that. Even though the way I turned out, I never felt any lack of love from my parents when I was grown up. And same as that, I've never felt that I withheld hardly anything related to love, regarding to love, that to my 3 children. I gave everything I could give. So, it turned out it wasn't young people's standard or not, but I would do the same thing.